they can to keep their own mojo going. But, man, what a big-time opportunity for Oklahoma. Fears has been fearless. Ever since he stepped onto that Norman campus as a 17-year-old freshman initially, has had a lot on him, and your best players have to be best in big games. For Mike White, we've talked about his freshman has been so good this year in Asa Newell. A big stage right now for freshmen to compete on. Mike White's club, Ravi, they come in, they've won 4 in a row. They have secured their NCAA berth, and a meaningful ball game, day 1 in the SEC tournament, fixing to go.
Now, Pat Adams, J.B. Hartness, Todd Austin, the officials for the nightcap of day 1, controlled by the team in red, the Oklahoma Sooners. Georgia in their road Grays tonight. Fears, a phenomenal freshman, dish down low. They kick for a 3 to start this game, and they get it. That worked out really well. Miles knocks it down. Duke Miles. That's his 40th three-point field goal of the season.
Porter Moser told us yesterday we have to make 8, 9, maybe 10 threes in this game. They get a first one on their first possession.
You saw that name, Blue Kane. Keep an eye on it. You heard the guys just before our game talk about him. He's a very, very tough player, good shooter. And a hard drive that goes up and in for Georgia. That's R.J. Godfrey.
Well, Godfrey's just a big body guy that can just bang his way to the rim off the bounce. I mean, he and Newell and the depth that Mike White has coming off that bench, a bunch of bruisers inside on that front line.
Godfrey played on Clemson's Elite 18. There's some experience there. They go low. Newell there to defend. And a nice job. He picks up the rebound. Great play by Fierce. Look at him push. Denied there, and there were a couple of Bulldogs ready to make sure that ball never got to the rim. I believe the block will be credited to DeMaury.
This year, when Jeremiah Fears has been good, Oklahoma's been good. And he's a ball-dominant point guard. But you saw that open floor speed that he has. Zero in red has another gear that most guys don't.
Demery was right there with his hands. Difficult shot. Offensive rebound, no good. There's Asa Newell. He'll launch from 3. That looked perfect.
Shot it without any hesitation at all. This is a kid that's got a beautiful heart about him, a beautiful spirit, humility, motor, all the things, all the intangibles that scouts in this building tonight look for.
29% three-point field goal shooter. He's 6'11". He's 220. And the first whistle goes against number 5. That is Demery.
You know, Asa Newell can do a little bit of everything. And he has a great second and third jump, but you back off of him and dare him to shoot it. He's got the confidence, and there's nothing wrong at all with that release. That's a good rotation on the ball. And that 29%, scouts will look at that release, Ravi, and say, hey, he's going to be a 35 or above in our league.
Sears rises. They get him with a little clear out. He used that arm to clear some space.
Well, he's trying to take on one of the better defenders, Silas Demery, in this league. Demery is a older, physical, bigger point guard that Fears is going to have to be careful with trying to drive 5 in gray.
This is Blue Kane. Demery works the baseline. He gets it on a curl. Asa Newell spins, fires, no good. Jalen Moore had a rebound. Now he's got the basketball. He's taking Newell. Got that right hand, absorbed the blow, no whistle.
Well, Moore has missed his first 2 or 3 shots around the rim. One of the most explosive athletes in this SEC.
Newell may have had something to do with that. Demery, good entry. Newell's got some inches on Moore, but he's got to kick it. Demery fires. Got it.
Big time. I mean, then Newell gets double teamed. He kicks that thing out, and a little swing action to the top of the key. Silas Demery has gotten very aggressive, Ravi, the last couple of weeks, knocking down three-point shots. Has always been a downhill guard.
And a high percentage, 38%. That is a block on the floor.
And back at the other end, Asa Newell's going to get all kinds of attention in this game. When he catches that ball on that first bounce, boom, Oklahoma rotates down with a fast double team, and he gets it out of there, and Demery rotates over. Demery last year in the first half of this season, pretty much known as a paint touch guard, a downhill guy. He has gotten very aggressive looking for his three-point shot the last 2 or 3 weeks.
He completes the three-point play, Jimmy, as that foul was called on the shot. So he knocks down the free throw. That's three-point play. He'll take a break. And into the game, a very good shooter.
Ravi, I'm in great favor of college basketball. This is a rule change offseason coming up. But one of the things I hope they have discussion on is moving college basketball towards the continuation play, similar to what we have in the NBA. Otherwise, you're rewarding the defense for those fouls.
Norweather came in. He forgot about the defensive part of that, but they missed the three to Demery. Now Elvis has the ball.
The other thing we'll look at this offseason is the monitor reviews. Something has to be done. Is probably the momentum is moving towards a challenge that each coach will have within a game.
Duke Miles into the paint, kicks. This is a good three-point shooter. A little too strong. Great offensive rebound. Kick back to Goodine. Kobe Elvis knocked it down. Really good hustle on the offensive glass for the Sooners.
That will be an Oklahoma Boomer Sooner assist in the eyes of Porter Moser from Jalen Moore to run down that loose ball and keep that possession alive.
Kane got by his man Elvis, and we got a whistle from down underneath the basket. We'll take a timeout, see whose fingers get put up in the air. When we come back, we'll tell you who the foul is on. It's 9-8 Sooners.
For Porter Moser's guys, they have lost some last possession games as well. LSU, Ole Miss, Kentucky, Texas, some gut punches as Porter Moser described them, but the resiliency of his team to show up the next day and keep fighting. I think you're looking at a 6-12 team out of the SEC this year that's going to get their number called in that NCAA.
Right, and I think your point is well made. 6-12 to the rest of the country, non-SEC, as Kane comes up just a little bit short. It's going to be a hard number for people to swallow. Finally, the third chance goes down for Georgia.
But Ravi, again, the selection committee, they do not care about your conference record. All those 30, 31, 32 games are judged individually, and I think that's why Oklahoma is where they are. But, man, do they need to win this game?
Dayton Forsythe, another good shooter. Oklahoma can spread you out, and they can knock down shots. Here's a guy that can absolutely do it. And that one was halfway down. Good rip by Newell. Keep an eye on him, though. 45. Luke Norweather, really good shooter at 6'11".
Yeah, he had 10 points in the last ball game. That's what he can do. He's a legit stretch five.
Georgia's torn. Lefty corner shot. Count it. Lawrence knocked that one down right in front of the Oklahoma bench.
If that name sounds familiar to Vanderbilt fans, yes, it's Tyron Lawrence, who was your leading scorer last year. A really good pickup by Mike White in that portal.
A really good pickup and a really good returning player. He missed 3 games with a leg injury. In the last 4, he's been terrific. Elvis has Newell at the free throw line. He kicks for a 3. That finds the bottom. Man, they are shooting really well tonight, both teams. Bryson Goodine's outstanding.
Yeah, just enough of a paint touch by Elvis to get that defense to come off that ball side shooter.
Pass down low. Yeah, you can hear that foul. That's going to be on Norweather, as he got the arm of the Georgia shooter, Santo Surreal.
You guys, in that last time out, Porter Moser was very positive. He told Bryson Goodine that was a great job playing on 2 feet. That was a great paint touch 3 right there, so he loved that inside-out assist. And he was continuing to draw up plays on the perimeter, wants his team to play off of that offensive momentum, and Goodine with the 3 to continue it.
Well, the way Georgia Molly converges on the ball when you drive the ball, I mean, you've got to have those kick-out threes ability if you're Oklahoma tonight. And again, the number for Oklahoma, according to Porter Moser, 8, 9, 10 keeps them right where they want to be in this game.
Santo Surreal is at the free throw line. He's just a freshman and a big boy, 6'11", 260 out of Nigeria. His last couple of games, Jimmy, 3 games, 8 for 11. from the field. And again, both of these teams, especially Georgia, will go deep into their bench, and they're doing that to start this game.
What I love about Santos Surreal at the free throw line, as a freshman, Ravi, he's getting 1 rebound every 3 minutes in a rugged SEC. That number is only going to get better as he gets older.
Number 1, Dakota LeFew into the game for the Bulldogs. Glenn Taylor Jr., 35 in red on the floor as well. He sets the screen. A really good, efficient switch by Georgia. Elvis trapped with 4 seconds. Norweather fires it under the basket, and he found his man. How in the world did Glenn Taylor Jr. come up with it?
Yeah, really good hands by Norweather just to keep the ball from going out of bounds, much less pass it with accuracy.
Both teams shooting very efficiently and well to start this one. Short on a 3. Traffic rebound offensively for Georgia. And now going to work one-on-one. No left. Jump ball comes back to Georgia. 3. Bottom. And a chance for 4. Goodine with a foul. Demery to the free throw line.
Man, when you can't clean up the miss more times than not, you're going to pay for it. Those reload threes are knocked in at such a high rate. And Silas Demery right there steps into it. He would not take that shot in November and December. But his confidence as a three-point shooter has just grown off the charts. Was already a tough cover, but now he's added that three-point shot, Ravi, to his arsenal.
Jimmy Demery's got 6. He's had some of his best games against the best teams. 19 against A&M, Mississippi State. He torched Auburn in Florida.
Well, guys, after Georgia's loss to Texas A&M in the middle of February, Asa Newell and Silas Demery Jr. met one-on-one and talked about how they could better lead this team. They told each other, if we're going to make a run, we have to step up. It's not just about hitting those big-time shots. It's about leading all the time, having our voice in the meetings and in those media timeouts. We need to be player-led to take this team further.
Well, they're doing it, too. Not only leading with their actions and their words. Tonight, they're doing it by scoring 12 of the team's 18 points. And a bad mistake there by Taylor, who just dribbled it right off his foot for a turnover.
Having look at Silas Demery over his last 8 games, talking about 5 in gray. He has averaged 19 points, 3.5 assists, and he's playing 36 minutes. A very durable, big, physical 6'4" point guard in that lead guard position for Mike White.
He's a sophomore. He's 6'5", 195 out of Raleigh, North Carolina. And a very good free throw shooter as he completed that 4-point play. He's 80% from the line. LeFew's had some good games as well. Good shooter. Another turnover that time for Georgia. Godfrey dribbled into traffic.
As much as Oklahoma likes to monster the ball in the post, you got to be careful bouncing that thing on a post up.
Too many steps, so 3 consecutive trips with turnovers, 2 for Oklahoma.
Ravi, I use that term monster when Oklahoma doubles. I'm sure Porter Moser still calls it that. He learned it from Rick Majerus as an assistant. That monster, the post action when you come with a double team on any post up. A disciple of Rick Majerus, and a lot of the terminology is still the same as it was 20 years ago when he was with Coach.
Coach Majerus once was up in the studio, Jimmy, doing some raps with me. He taught me all about butt fronting.
Yeah, he was big on that. And offense. He loved his offense.
He wasn't afraid to be a coach. He took us right off the set and demonstrated using me as a pinball. LeFew into traffic. Is it another turnover? No, it'll stay with Georgia.
Were you the screener or the one getting screened?
I was getting screened, and it wasn't comfortable.
Yeah, I understand.
Mike White is he just turns programs around. He has had such great success. And man, you can tell how much he and his family are enjoying life in Athens, Georgia.
Think about this, just the 6th time in 119 years of Georgia basketball for them to win 20 games in the regular season. That's what he did this year.
Now it's the start to this one for Silas Demery. He's got 9. 6-point lead, Georgia. Fears will go to the free throw line to shoot 2. Fears looking for his first 2 points of the night. Good start since 2015, and part of their resume this year is having played 8 games against AP top 10 teams, not top 25, top 10, which is the most of any program in the country.
And they are the only team in the country to play 5 top 10 teams on the road. So, man, that strength of schedule has been real, and for Georgia to get 20 wins out of it, their best win in non-conference was against St. John's. And St. John's, we know, they're going to be one of the favorites to make a deep run. A Final Four threat is St. John's. And Mike White told us, looking back on that game, it was a severe challenge just to get the ball across half court.
Yeah,
that's how good
he's ever played, he said this year.
Yeah, but they won that game, and that's really good for their current resume as they're being evaluated.
Fears knocks down the free throws. He's the team leader in points per game, free throws, assists per game, steals per game. He does everything as the freshman out of Juliet, Illinois. 2016 hot start shooting for the Bulldogs. Tyron Lawrence with 10 on the shot clock. Baseline double team. Demery is the only guy who's open, and his 3 comes up short, and the ball was deflected to him.
That'd be a great job by Fears to fight his tail off and circle the post and not allow to get buried as he was guarding the post player for Georgia.
Dustin Abson had that go right through his hands. 25 and Grays into the game, and 2 free throws coming for Oklahoma. They're getting the ball down low and a little extracurricular on the floor. And you get the sense that's how this game is going to be.
Yeah.
Well, frisky tonight. Newell picks up the foul. Looks like Muhammad Wuggy is rubbing his hand, which may have, yeah, right there. You see him grab that thumb on his left hand. The Alabama transfer.
A little bit of shove there at the end from Tyron Lawrence into Jeremiah Fears, and Moore steps in to try to clean it up. Probably going to look at that shove from Lawrence and the contact he made with Fears.
The previous play is going to be under review.
Watch on the left side right there, that little elbow. I had worse than that on the elevator earlier today.
Yeah, the elevator got crowded today.
It did. It got severely crowded. I don't think that will be an F1 had it been in the neck or head area. Certainly. Again, they're judging is that excessive, unnecessary, is what they're going to be looking at over there with Pat Adams and J.B. Hartness and Todd Austin will all most likely take a look at it, circle through the monitor.
Maybe Lawrence, who's a graduate and a Vanderbilt transfer, kind of letting the freshman know, kind of set the pecking order in this game.
Well, okay, so the second look, Fears was the first guy to make the shove in the back, and Tyron Lawrence says, not tonight.
Yeah. That feels like competition to me, Jimmy. I understand that it's, not something that you generally want to see, but SEC tournament game. Pat Adams and J.B. Hartness, Todd Austin talk it over. It's also something you want to cut out.
After the review, it would be a common foul, and we're going to play on from the free throws.
Yeah, I thought that's what it would probably be, but you got to do the right thing to take a quick look at it and get multiple guys, multiple eyes on it and play on. But to your point, and neither one of these teams are going to back down. It's way, way too important of a game for Oklahoma. And Georgia has found their groove. They saved their season and turned it around by winning their last 4 in SEC. They're solidly projected in the tournament right now, according to Joe Lunardi. And Oklahoma fighting for their life to be included as well.
One thing Oklahoma does really well, or another thing I should say they do really well, Jimmy, shoot free throws. They're about 80%, which is best in the SEC. It's 6th best in the NCAA. And they are 3 for 3 tonight as Wuggy goes to the line. And Mike White and Pat Adams are having a fairly animated conversation over there in front of the Georgia bench. Mohamed Woogie. Yeah, knocks down another one. Stroke was good. He's got 5 early points right now to lead the way for Oklahoma.
Oklahoma plays a lot of minutes with 3 small guards on the floor like they have now. And those guards have to rotate down and chip down and get involved when this shot's taken and gain rebound.
Fears, Miles, and Elvis, the 3 guards you're talking about. They double Lawrence up top. That's going to be a kick on Miles.
And win that line of scrimmage. It's so important. I talked about in our first game tonight. Your ball screen defense is the line of scrimmage. You've got to win that part of the play, Ravi. You cannot allow that ball to turn and get downhill. Good job by Oklahoma. There's multiple ways to win the line of scrimmage, by the way. You can blitz it, you can trap it, you can switch it, but you got to win that spot of the floor.
That kick led to a reset of the shot clock, and then Pat Adams from underneath the basket saw some contact. So he calls the foul, and that will be on Miles, who may have just picked up his 2nd personal. So immediately he goes to the bench for Porter Moser. Moser's in his 4th year at Oklahoma. 10 years, very successful, Loyola of Chicago. And you can see how encouraging he's trying to be to his teams. Gives Glenn Taylor Jr. a little high five.
2 of his first 3 years at Oklahoma, they have been the first team out.
Brutal, right?
Yeah, brutal. That's how close they've been. And if they lose this game, they're going to be sitting right on that cut line again.
Abson throws one up, and it's good. Well, the game day crew and Seth Greenberg coming to town, of course, for College Game Day this weekend. So they can commiserate about what it's like to be living on the bubble.
Seth he knows it well.
Oh, he does know it well. Too well, in fact, he'll tell you.
Well, the inside game at Georgia, Newell, Godfrey, James, Surreal, just multiple bodies they throw at you.
Line drive 3 from the corner, finds the bottom, and that's Jalen Moore.
He does shoot a line drive, but it goes in from either corner at a pretty good rate for a small forward.
Yeah, Newell just got bodied out of there by Elvis. LeFew fade. Too strong. Newell may have got away with a push-off. He gets the offensive rebound and softly finds the bottom.
I love that description. He's got a great set of soft paws. And he's got a motor. He plays a physical game for a slender kid. Not afraid of contact.
Out of bounds turnover Sooners, Jimmy.
A beautiful teammate is Asa Newell. And Asa Newell right there, Ravi, he's not a 240-pound kid, but he plays through contact really well for a first-year freshman that's long and lanky. And he does compete his tail off.
Well, you guys, Asa Newell told us the physicality of the SEC forced him to change that slender body in the way that he plays since the summer. He's gained over around 15 pounds. He said he can play with more physicality, hold his own in the post. He said that strength not only gives him versatility, but confidence to go toe-to-toe with some of the best in this league.
Yeah, interesting story, too, how he got to Georgia when he and his brother, the older brothers on this team, decided to go back to Georgia. When they got there, they both said, it's nice to be home again. Their grandmother used to work in the president's office at Georgia. As the 3 is dropped by Fears, which sent 2 bodies to the floor in Wuggy and Abson.
Yeah, the shot's going to count. The foul clearly after the shot was released. You're going to see a box off that's going to result in a tangle up between 25 and 5.
You call the foul on Georgia.
Yeah, he just blew up that Oklahoma offensive rebounder, so it's a 3-point shot made and ball out of bounds under. Just the 15th foul on Georgia.
Mike White, Pat Adams. I think Mike White was trying to make a point, which he then felt like, I don't need to make that point. You don't need to look at anything. And he pulled back. Whatever his initial thought was. Hey, Oklahoma's been terrific. 5 of 7 from 3-point land. Wow, man. Fears, no fear there. 6 of 8 from 3.
That was future NBA player on future NBA player. Fears with Newell in his grill.
Cyril just
Offensive.
lowered the shoulder.
Whoa.
Wow, they got the block. You saw what I saw, Jimmy. He absolutely went all football sled and just lowered it and pushed.
And the shot by Fears, though, was something special to give Oklahoma a lead. Right in the grill of Asa Newell. And going downhill, more in legal guarding position. And unless he's in the restricted arc, which he's not, that is an offensive foul, right? I mean, again, the majority of those calls all year have been called blocks on the defense, but you can still take a charge in the college basketball rule book, and that's a tough one right there if you're Porter Moser.
Cyril missed the free throw. He did significant damage with that last drive. You talk about a physical specimen.
6'11", 260 is that. Yeah, it was ranked 49th in the country overall in our ESPN top 100 rankings by Paul Biancardi and his guys.
Well, the future's very bright at Georgia, and it's the second youngest team conference. They can grow together, and as Mike White says, they really, really do like each other.
And they have a fantastic home court advantage right now. That Georgia student section is as good as any student section in this league.
Yeah, too much dribbling. He had that ball deflected away by LeFew. Here comes Newell. Up and in. Yeah, it is so soft, isn't it, the rim?
Yeah, the ability of Asa Newell, though, to avoid defenders and just slide and glide with smoothness. And he's all of 6'10", making those kind of plays.
He's got 9. Fears, who's dribbling, has got 8 in this game. He gets it back. He rises. He buries it. Jeremiah Fears to 11.
He reclassified. He played it in the Peach Jam and decided.
Well, they changed his call, Jimmy. He initially said it was coming the other way. It's going to stay with Georgia.
Well, Asa Newell right there, that ability to slide and glide and avoid contact is really a next level skill. And he's so long, gets his shot up above the. And Jeremiah Fears, perfect, 3 out of 3 from distance.
Well, guys, as expected, a lot of love for Jeremiah Fears in that Oklahoma huddle. Fears has 3 threes. His career high is 4, so they'll continue to feed him and play off of that confidence. And head coach Porter Moser continues to be positive. Told his team, we haven't given up an offensive rebound since the beginning of the game. Keep that up.
That's a pretty good stat, Molly. Thank you. Kane from the baseline, no good. Newell picks up the rebound and throws one up, and he can't get it.
Think about Jeremiah Fears. He originally committed to Illinois.
Yeah.
And then when he reclassified, Porter Moser said, we got a spot for you right now.
Turned 18 in October.
Yeah. In Oklahoma with a lot of minutes with 3 small guards. And they try to find a mismatch with one of them. Let him go to work. This
Fears, great play with an extra level of elevation.
Good grief. Jeremiah, no fears.
He's got the last 11 for the Sooners. They got a 6-point lead.
Ravi, his body screams young, but his game is old.
Yeah. You got a hand in there, and it's out of bounds off Fears. So active and right in front of his bench, getting a lot of love, like Molly just said, even more now.
Look at this handle to snake that ball screen. You go from right to left, and you come back to the right side and get up and punch it. There's no entitlement to this kid. He's humble. He wants to be coached. He's always studying film. And he is held up body-wise in a very physical league with a lot of physical point guards.
Good point, 6'4", just 182. And 26% three-point shooter. He has led this 14-4 run. Bulldogs got no time on the shot clock. Did he get it off? They say he did. And the rebound of the Sooners. They got shooters on the floor. If Fears is going to be that hot. Good eye and more. They set the screen, the roll, and it's picked off. Kane all the way.
Yeah, Fears thought that Moore was going to stay, and Moore was thinking roll. I love the fact that Blue Kane, his dad went to Duke as a deal. Yeah, That's a big deal in that Georgia student section. And they all pack blue canes when they come into the Steg.
The scoring average, Jimmy, you want to play in the conference and play better. His scoring average is up 2 points in SEC play. We'll see Blue knocked out a 3. He's done that in 14 straight. So carry your cane with pride.
The hard straight line driver, and just but Blue Cane in a close ball game, he will just stick one on you. That's a dagger a lot of times.
Right, like his dad, he'll knock down the 10-foot birdie on the 18th.
That. Yeah, I like that.
Demry's in double figures with 10 as he shoots another free throw. Good game. 2 points, 5.5 to go in the first half. Oklahoma looking for their 20th win. And really would secure themselves a spot in the tourney. Ball movement 3, no good. Wuggy's having a really good first half as he gets the offensive rebound and finishes with a flush.
Yeah, that's the problem when you go to a 1-3-1 and that weak side defensive rebound is so hard to get because you're having to rotate down from a long ways from that wing.
Wuggy's got 7. Kane rises and finds the twine. Fierce bad pass. He threw it over the head of Wuggy. And here comes Georgia trying to tie it, or with a 3 grab a lead. Kane all the way to the hoop. Circus shot, doesn't find the backboard. Fierce, he lost it. Turnover, Kane, 2-on-1. Green light special, lays it up and in. Blue Kane in traffic.
And we talked about his dad being a golfer at Duke. His mom was a Hall of Fame basketball player at George Washington, Mariah. An athletic family, a kid from Knoxville that found his way out from Tennessee and finds his way to Georgia. But he is just one tough customer, man. Not afraid of contact, not the best athlete on the floor, just finds a way to get his shots off. Really good sophomore guard for Mike White.
One story of the game, Jimmy, to start this thing. Turnovers. Oklahoma has 8, and Georgia's got 8 points off those turnovers. Step back 3, no good. And the defensive rebound, Kane for the lead. Georgia, Demry dumps it off. Layup missed. Lawrence, 1 extra pass. Demry, net, timeout, Moser.
A great job, not a good job, a great job by Lawrence to pass one up and make the right pass to Lawrence on the right side. And again, it came off of an off.
Just stroking it. None of those were funny, but we'll have funny coming up, guys. Yeah, you don't want to peek too early. That's a good point, Derek. We'll get some. I'm sure we will. And when all else fails, we'll just bring the Shaq line back, because that worked in game 1.
It did work well in game 1.
37-34 here to their point, though. Really good shooting so far from 3. Oklahoma 7 of 12, and Georgia 5 of 11. Fierce gets a break.
In the first matchup, Georgia went to the free throw line 37 times. Oklahoma much better in this game at defending without fouling.
Forsythe penetrates. They will blow the whistle. That's going to be on LeFew.
Foul for one, Dakota LeFew. His first 6th Georgia team foul.
6 fouls on Georgia, 7 on Oklahoma here. 3 1/4 to go. First half. Boy, Wuggy didn't think he was going to give that up. He does, and what a good decision. Corner 3 more. Hot shooting for Oklahoma continues. 8-3 of this half.
Ravi, that ball screen for Oklahoma the entire time was designed to find that backside 3. And Wuggy sprinted out, and once he got it on the roll, you're going to watch. He's going over here the entire time. That's what that middle ball screen play was drawn up for. Not for Wuggy to dive out of it and finish, but to dive out of it and be a facilitator. Really well done by Porter Moser and his guys.
Moore's got 6. Lawrence was left open. They didn't have the rotation he wanted. Newell in traffic. He missed a little bunny.
Every once in a while on film, he will just kind of throw one instead of shoot it.
Yeah.
He'll grow out of it. He gets rushed a little bit at times.
Elvis in the building. Can't get that to go. Corner. Moore. Yes.
I don't know. The ball just knows. When it gets offensive rebounded, it knows it's going to go in on the next three-point attempt.
Just a unreal shooting performance by Oklahoma from 3 this first half. 9 for 14.
And Porter said we need to make 9 in the game to have a chance to win the game. They're there at halftime.
Lawrence, high floater, no good. Went up to get his own rebound. They'll get another chance. They will get a call. Offensive foul.
That's a good job of partner officiating from Pat Adams and J.B. Hartness, because they both blew the whistle at the same time, and Pat Adams made eye contact with that baseline official that had the primary view of it right there. That's an offensive foul. That's legal guarding position. That offensive player dislodges that defender, and both officials blew the whistle simultaneously but made eye contact and read each other's eyes.
It's a good
like
thing.
You and I can do.
Exactly.
And they make the proper call.
It'd be uncomfortable if Pat Adams did not agree with the call and he was pointing the other way.
Yeah, it would have been.
Offensive rebounds the story in this one, too. Georgia has 10 offensive rebounds, which has led to 11 second chance points. Fears back on the floor for the last 2 minutes. He's got 13 points to lead the way. Demery's got 14 on the other side. Corner 3 looked good, and it was excellent extra pass. Norweather, who found Forsythe. A 9-0 run for the Sooners. This three-point shooting is crazy. They're 10 of 15. LeFew finds his roller. Surreal, who just threw it up underneath. It looks like he got hit in the neck. Six-point advantage, Sooners. We near the last minute of play in the first half. Another 3. Boy, a rare miss, and that found nothing. Almost as if Bryson hadn't shot in a while.
Yeah.
So he said, I'm going to try. They're all going in.
Watching Fears play, he's so crafty at creating contact.
Oh, tough shot, Lawrence.
So they go back to the middle ball screen, hit the roll guy. It's been good to him 2 of the last 3 possessions. That's deep.
Yeah, that is too deep. They've missed their last 2.
Right, that was a no pass.
Well,
no
Bears a turnover. LeFew mistake, and he looked at his teammate Demery and put his hand up, and Demery acknowledges that's on me.
Yep. Seldom does a no pass, no paint 3-point attempt go in, and Fears just kind of settled for one that time with that high ball screen and just jumped up from deep. That middle ball screen for Porter Moser has been good, though. Short roll, and the roll man, Wage, Moore, whoever it is, becoming facilitators to find 3-point shooters here in the last 90 seconds.
The point about Fears is well taken. All these great guards, when they beat their man, they then wait and let the man ride their back.
No doubt.
Either to create a foul or just make sure they keep him at bay.
They probably have studied a lot of film with Zakai Ziegler, who's done it forever at Tennessee.
Fears has an alley-oop, and it's denied. Surreal with a terrific play.
You can never throw an alley-oop low. If anything, throw it over the top of the backboard, but it can't be low. Low lob passes get picked off and become runouts, and that was just not quite high enough. And the athleticism of those Georgia bigs, that time, Samto Surreal again, 6'11", 260. He just ate it up.
I'd like to face a spike from Samto Surreal, a little beach volleyball game.
No. One time,
right. Fokker.
Short clock, here we go.
10 seconds. Out of bounds, and it's going to be Oklahoma basketball. 4.7 seconds to go.
Mike White goes with a clear out down the right side and doesn't get the contact call that he wanted. Now plenty of time for Oklahoma. Really, they have time for 4 bounces, if not 5, to get this ball up and a shot off. You know Jeremiah Fears is primary weapon right there to some type of a circle action and get going. I mean, he's your guy with elite speed with the ball.
He is. They also have Forsyth, good shooter on the floor.
Yeah.
Moore has been hot in his first half. And Goodine. Here comes Fears. He gets it.
Yeah.
He kicks it. Elvis. Double pump off the iron.
I would have lived with Fears taking the shot myself.
Really good first half. Well played. Good shooting. 9-2 run.
More, and we're collapsing a little on defense. That's led to some open threes. He stressed the importance of keeping Jeremiah Fears from getting into a rhythm, saying that is the most important thing, especially early in this second half.
Mikey Notes has given us a number, Jimmy, to keep an eye on in the second half, too. Oklahoma 12-11 this year when they have more than 10 turnovers. 7-1 when they have fewer than 10 turnovers.
To my point about Fears, he cannot have 10 turnovers when this game comes to a halt. And Porter Moser said at the end of the day, did we rebound with Georgia will determine this game. Well, they're being out rebounded by 4. They've got to hang in there.
Demery, tough shot, rattles it in. Good start for the Bulldogs. Demery quickly to 16 points. Did a decent job keeping Newell in check. He ended up with 9 points in the first half. Fears step back. A little long. The confidence Demery plays with relative to where he was at the beginning of the season is something Mike White has commented to us on. Just a different dude. And he said, we're just getting better. We get older, we get more experience, we get better. Turnover there. Well, you got stuffed by the basket. He's able to pick up his own. Fears, yep, knocks down another one.
You can't come off of Fears when there's action around the rim and an offensive rebound. You stick with him, Ravi, because he's so good at those step-in threes off of an offensive rebound.
No, that's a bad pass there from Mason Newell. Here comes Fears one-on-one with Kane. Steps through, wild shot. Kane will throw up one. That also goes. They've made a couple from the exact same spot, both Kane and Demery.
Darius Miles complaining that Blue Kane initiated contact and knocked him off the path.
Every time I watch Miles, I feel like I'm watching Kemba Walker. Remember Kemba Walker?
Oh, no doubt, yeah. I mean, the last time the Big East in 2011 put 11 teams in, and it was Kemba Walker that won the title coming out of that league.
Here's Kane going at Miles, lays it up and in, and they are within one. Blue Kane's been in the middle of it. Fears, boy, an ankle breaker. He cannot complete it. He sent Demery to the floor, and then he threw it up too hard off the window. Demery. Yes, sir, man. He's on fire.
He is playing like a pro guard in a college game right now. His last 8 games, he's averaging those 19 points.
Great start to the second half for Jim.
Ravi, you couldn't guard him when he's going downhill, but now he's added that 3-point shot. It's a tough cover.
He's got 19. Woogie all the way right by Epson to lay it up and in.
Porter Moser spreading that floor, letting those big guys operate either off of a ball screen or just getting downhill as drivers themselves.
Newell will launch a long 3, no good. Absent battle for it, and here comes Miles.
Again, with those 3 small guards on the floor for Oklahoma, they've got to scrape down and stay involved on that defensive glass.
Difficult baseline runner from Miles, no good. Demery right in the face of Miles. Knocks another one down. He's got 22 and 5 threes.
He's playing as well as any point guard in this SEC, and there are some great ones in this league.
We've seen a handful already today. They've been special. Moore tripped up. They're going to get Demery on the foul. Their feet got tangled up, but it's been the shooting of Demery that has led the way with 8 points in the second half.
Yeah, they're down at halftime, and what they do, Blue Cane gets them started, making the play through contact, but it's the hustle play, the effort plays of the guys in gray. I know Silas Demery with those 8 points, but it's been the energy and the fight and the toughness that this team has played with to start this second half. And Silas Demery has seen a really good rim. A point guard that is absolutely dialed in from distance. Dogs out with a 3-point lead.
Oklahoma players challenging each other to shut down Demery, and you can feel that this Sooners team is frustrated, guys.
Yeah, no doubt, and we can appreciate just wipe it clean and move on. Let's do that. And that's what he's hoping Oklahoma can do. Demery has been just terrific. 22 points on 7 of 10 shooting. And as Jimmy pointed out to me during the break, the rebounding advantage starting to slide in the favor of the Bulldogs as they're up by 6, 22-16 in that category. Fierce has 8 on the shot clock. Works behind his back, and he nearly lost it. He checked the clock, and he did nearly lose it again. Moore, no, that would have been a gift for Oklahoma. Not a good possession.
No, just completely over-dribbling by Fears. Lucky he didn't come up with his 6th turnover in this game.
Demery, no good. Newell in traffic, denied by the rim.
Yeah, you don't see that much from Newell. He's automatic around the rim with those dunks.
When they're playing well, they're getting into the paint, kicking for 3, Oklahoma.
Boy, Newell continues to get switched out on Fears.
No red shirts underneath to get an offensive rebound, and they've gone cold right now.
Well, they can't get offensive sensitive. Talking about Oklahoma, they better guard. And to Molly's report, it's all about what do they do with Silas Demery. Can they shut off his water for 4 or 5 minutes?
Yeah, that's a soft touch for Newell as he goes right over his defender, Norweather. Newell's got a double-double, 7th of the season.
Just a long, tall target, always hanging out around that rim.
11 points, 11 rebounds. 5-point game. Sooners need a good shot. Elvis, 7 on the shot clock. They're not going to get a good shot, but it's a 3 that finds the bottom.
Yeah, they wanted a good shot, but they'll take a bad shot that goes in anytime. It was a much-needed 3 in that possession.
Newell will rise. High arcing 3. Splashdown.
Man, if it's not Demery, it's Newell.
Yeah.
They just take turns beating people.
Good hands by Newell, who's got 14 points. Moore in traffic. They're looking for a double dribble. He knocks that in. That may have been a double dribble that he got away with.
Right, I'm pretty sure he dribbled, picked it up, looked for a guy to pass to, and dribbled again.
Yes. Newell again. They're leaving him open. He's not making him pay there. A 3 would tie it for the Sooners. Elvis baseline into the paint. Difficult catch and a foul. We'll go back and see if that was a double dribble.
Well, the Georgia bench just exploded.
Yeah.
It just, we don't have a shot of it. It felt like Newell dribbled, picked it up, more dribbled, picked it up, and couldn't find anyone and dribbled again. Interesting, Porter Moser, 6 weeks after he got the job, he was told that, oh, by the way, we're joining the SEC. So for the past 3 years, Ravi, that they've still been in the Big 12 waiting to join the SEC, they didn't really have anybody in that room fighting for them in that NCAA selection committee. And that's a big deal. And I know the SEC has fought for Oklahoma, rightfully so. Everybody does it for their league, but I just think Oklahoma's in good shape. Now, can they lock it up tonight? Absolutely, but I think they're in better shape than most people realize based upon what they did in non-conference.
Yep. You need an advocate, and he's got one now for sure. Greg Sankey, Garth Glissman do a terrific job of getting this league its just due. Tell you one thing, Jimmy, you watch Norweather at the free throw line, his body language, he looks exhausted. He missed that first free throw. Surreal comes back in. Elvis went over and kind of gave him a pep talk after he missed that first free throw.
Well, he's a guy, Norweather, that normally only plays about 9 minutes, but with Godwin not available tonight, he's going to be back up in that 18-20 minute range. So to your point, he could be. And that's what they're missing tonight. Godwin, he was on a roll, man, before he got hurt, averaging about 12 and 5. And one of the better offensive rebounders in this league.
Surreal and Wuggy back in for Georgia and Oklahoma, respectively. 2-point ball game, under 13 to go in the second half. Demery fade away. Boy, he is off to the left. He's looking for a foul. Didn't get one on Forsythe. Oh, pretty dribble by Elvis. Ball fake, too. 3 way off to the right. Loose ball. It goes Georgia's way. Glenn Taylor Jr. hasn't taken many shots tonight, and that one was not online. LeFew fades.
Man, tough shots by both teams a little bit. You don't get points for getting one off. You get points for that ball going through the net.
Elvis high arcing, no. He went with sort of a running hook shot. Multiple trips without any points, both teams.
Now we're at 11 and Georgia's still not organized.
Demery finds his man who's got to fire, James. No, and he's not the guy you want shooting 3. It's Dylan James. Just doesn't take that many of them. Elvis, a lot of dribbling, finds himself alone in the paint, throws it up and in.
Well, he got to the paint because there's a little bit of a brush screen as he brought that ball down, which allowed him to get to that logo and then played off at 2 feet. It's a 1-point game with under 12.
Feels like that time of the game where both teams are a little weary. Who catches that second wind? Demery. No tip, no good by Surreal.
And since that timeout, Porter Moser challenges guys to get after Demery. He has not scored since that report from Molly about Porter getting into his guys with Demery.
Elvis, step back 3. Boy, he had that thing down and out, and there's a battle between Woogie and Surreal on the floor. Find out who Pat Adams has that call on. It looks like
they acknowledge they need a spark, and coaches spoke individually with Asa Newell, so look for him to start to get them going.
All right, Molly's got 14 points. They have had, Jimmy, 5 straight empty trips. Kane was there to knock it away from Moore, but it ends up in the hands of Wuggy, who rolls to the rack, absorbs contact, and knocks it down.
He has made some nice plays, rolling out those ball screens as a facilitator that time, taking it really hard through bodies to get a tough 2.
Into double figures is Wuggy with 11. 7-0 run has got the Sooners up by 1. Kane, Godfrey, they were going to let him have it. He penetrated, and that, according to Pat Adams, is an offensive foul. And he's kind of grabbing at his right knee. Is R.J. Godfrey.
We have to remember, Mo Waggy was on that Final 14 for Alabama, so he has played in big, meaningful games in good extended minutes. He scores on one end and comes back and makes a terrific defensive play in legal guarding position. But that empty-sided, naked corner ball screen action is always good in a tough cover. And Waggy this time rolls out of it with intentions to score instead of pass. Good job by Porter Moser to stick with that middle ball screen and side ball screen action.
Equally good job by the officials, Jimmy, not to make the call there. There's a turnover. As Wuggy try to find a cutting Moore. Wide open three. That one is knocked down. That's too much space for Dylan James, who again doesn't shoot a ton of them, but when he does, he's over 40%.
He really came on last year, made some big shots in their run to the NIT semis.
Wuggy, yeah, used his body and the lane, missed a left-handed layup. Ooh, that's frustrating. He will go to the free throw line and shoot a couple, but that was an easy one at the rim. Next Tuesday night right here on the SEC Network and the ESPN app, our next SEC Inside will take you on an all-access pass to this men's basketball tournament. You can see it at 7 Eastern Time, 6 Central. What you've never seen before, you'll be able to see Tuesday at 7. Sound from the players, the coaches. I promise a behind-the-scenes look at this year's SEC tournament.
And that's a tough miss by Wuggy because he had what looked like an automatic 2. And to my point, he's a 62% free throw shooter, so he may come away empty or maybe just one.
Yeah, rare on a team that tends to shoot free throws really well.
And just below 80% as a team in conference play have the Sooners been.
He missed it both. Boy, he had an easy layup, and that cost him 2 points. And Newell went right into Moore, and Moore did not have defensive positioning. That's a Mike White cheer right there. He liked that Newell take. And it's got all the Georgia fans behind the bench standing and cheering as well.
Well, we played over 10 minutes in the second half, and that's just the first foul on Oklahoma. So that's a cheer from Mike White right there in the ear of Pat Adams. Newell so quick when he gets that ball. There's no hesitation for him when he catches it and decides to drive it.
They set a screen. Demery, no. And there's the second foul on Oklahoma. Goodine got his hand on James.
Ravi again, Oklahoma, they play with 3 small guards, major minutes. So at some times they get mismatched on the glass. Goodine having to grab that time because he's just outsized.
Georgia a +7 in the rebounding category and +6 offensively. They've got 12 of them. Each team with 11 second chance points. 2-point ball game, 9 minutes to go. Kane is open. He's buried in the corner. Dribbles his way out. Free throw line jumper, Blue Kane.
How tough is he? First of all, just to fight for his life to get the ball out of the corner, then jumps up and sticks a tough 2.
Kane's got 6 this half, 12 in the game. Taylor Jr., that's a heck of a play. He had a chance to lay it up and in. Goodeye will draw the foul, and that's going to be on Demery.
Blue Kane competes. That ball gets thrown in bounds. He's in a lot of traffic over there. They are downing him in that side, but he works off that ball screen. Bam, and gets right to the nail and jumps up and sticks it. I mean, Mike White's built his programs around kids like this. A little bit under-recruited. They come with a chip and an edge, and they play that way their entire career. And Blue Kane and Silas Demery, man, those guys, they're good and they compete.
Free throw missed again. That's just not a shot you'll see a lot of teams take. A mid-range 2-point jump shot. They got to see a free throw go through, and they do there after missing their prior 3. Georgia's turn to go on a little run right now. No teams led by more than 6 in this seesaw battle. Will Jeremiah Fears find his second wind? Here comes Kane again. Similar spot this time. He launches a 3 and finds the net.
Wow. Name like a dog food, but one, can that dude play?
Name like a dog food. Okay, Fears to the rack.
Right? Blue Kane, if you care about your pet, Blue Kane dog food is for you. It's just sitting there waiting to happen. I love his game, man.
That just works with the dogs, the whole thing. I see what you're doing now. Took a while, but I got there. Difficult pass. Fears picks it. Now, he just had two. Let's see if he wants to fire again. All the way. Yes, he does. He's got the last four.
That is some special juice that Fears has. His speed is top level, man. Rim to rim.
Let me ask you this question as we go. Are you working on a Rocket Roo deal with Blue Cane? Is that what you're doing here? Is that what you're doing?
Side hustle. That's called side hustle.
Okay, there you go. Jeremiah Fears, rock solid as he drove to the rim, and he drove hard. He's got the last four. We got ourselves a 2-point game.
He's fast in slow motion, too, but
Like,
they can end a lot of questions right now. North Carolina's the first one that jumps out. This 1-11 in quad one, just to me, is not an NCAA tournament team.
During the break, Blue Buffalo called. They want to let you know it's Blue Buffalo, not Blue Cane, but Blue Cane's still something that you can create.
It's just sitting there waiting for,
it's out there.
for Blue Cane. Yeah, it's an NIL deal. Yeah, Porter Moser again comes out of that timeout in the zone to disrupt that play call that Mike White drew up in his time.
Yeah, Cane's going to launch 15 points tonight. Can't add to it. So the zone worked.
Yeah, it pays off. And you may have saved 2 points right there.
Fears hero launch, and that's too strong. Jeremiah Fears sitting there with 20 points. He's got to come over the top, and that led to a baseline near layup. Godfrey fouled by Wuggy.
Hey guys, funny story for you. Shortly before that last timeout, Oklahoma coach Porter Moser told Jeremiah Fears to cross half court and call a timeout. Fears didn't listen, kept playing, scoring 4 straight points. So the freshman deciding to take over the game, take matters into his own hands, and wave off his coach's request.
How about that?
Do you think Porter would find that funny? He likes the result.
Yeah, he likes the result, but if you're Jeremiah Fears, you might want to listen to your coach a little bit. Jeremiah Fears, though, again, reclassified up, has handled everything thrown at him. The turnover's still a little high, but with a kid like him, you got to give him some freedom. And Porter Moser has coached him beautifully for a young kid maneuvering through this league.
Maybe a sign of the maturation. You go back to early January to where he is tonight. I asked you that question. You think you put a team of 5 freshmen in this conference against 5 seniors or grads, and how good would that game be? The freshman class in the SEC is silly.
Yeah, loaded with future pros. It would be a heck of a game.
Oklahoma, we talked about it, and you mentioned at the half, they're not going to make the same number of threes. They have missed 7 of their last 8. Fears decides to go to the rack, throws it up. He absorbed the contact of Newell and makes it.
He is so good controlling his body, Fears. He's slightly built, but it's very difficult to knock him off of his scoring path.
He scored the Sooners' last 6. That ball is loose on the floor. Jump ball, Oklahoma ball. Arrow favors the Sooners.
Well, Jeremiah Fears' 22nd point in this game was something special. That middle ball screen, kind of a moving ball screen that's a legal play. Wage just walking down, kind of a just drive the highway right there, because Jeremiah Fears in traffic for a young kid. He's kind of an uphill driver. And what I mean by that, Ravi, guys that can drive the ball through heavy traffic, not easy, and Fears has that about him for a young kid.
The opposite of the downhill drive.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of guys can drive downhill. Very few, though, can maneuver through traffic when it's tough, like uphill drivers. Mark Sears out of this league is the same way.
Yeah. It's 64-64. A huge opportunity for the Sooners, who sit there with 19 wins, and Lenardi has them right on that bubble of first 4 out. They're used to that. Fears, no good. He got hit on the head, and he goes down hard. Fears will shoot a couple. So there they are, Jimmy, the last 4 in. Now, the good news is they're on the top of that, so they could slip and still get in. Texas is another team right there from the SEC that is a first 4 up, got a massive win today. I saw Lenardi talk about it. It's just a question of surviving for another day to make a statement. Ohio State lost today.
And again, Joe Lenardi is projecting what he thinks the NCAA selection committee is going to do. He might be one off with Texas. Texas right now, they might be sitting there right now on the eyes of the selection committee saying that win today is all we needed to see. But a huge opportunity tomorrow for Rodney Terry and Trey Johnson, those guys going up against an in-state rival in the Texas A&M Aggies.
Buzz Williams' teams tends to play well here. Only 2 turnovers for Oklahoma in their 28 second half possession, so they've done a much better job of holding on to the basketball.
None by Fears. He had 5 at half, none in this second half.
Good defense this time by Miles as he digs in. Demery backs him in. There's contact. Offensive foul. What a job that time by Duke Miles. And the frustration from Silas Demery.
Duke Miles, though, got low and strong and continued to move his feet. And that's an offensive generated play right there. Again, dislodging that legal defender. Jeb Hartness right on top of it. Tough call, but the right call. And the 4th foul now on Silas Demery.
Big story. Fears. Kick back, Moore. Ball fake. Drives. That's knocked away by Newell. Look at Woogie. And they are going to get a foul on Newell. Great hustle on the offensive glass by the Oklahoma Sooners. Their 13th, 7th, I should say, offensive rebound.
Porter Moser continues to set that ball screen, and they're just kind of driving the guy that dives out of it. This time it's Wage who dove out of it and was waiting at the front of the rim. And Mo Wage, not a big stat guy, but he has made some key, tough, rugged plays for Oklahoma, especially in the second half.
He's got 12 points now to go with 8 rebounds. He also has 4 assists.
The value of a guy that played in the Final Four and logged a lot of minutes on a big stage. So important this time of the year.
Too strong with that free throw, and Newell gets a 3-point lead, Oklahoma. 5 minutes to go in this game. Sooners would love to get a victory and sew up a spot in the NCAA tournament. So Demery on the bench, and we'll keep an eye on where the score goes in the last few minutes with him there. Difficult fadeaway. Kane too short.
Good job by Fears to play with a championship chest defensively, show his hands and not foul.
Miles. Fears way outside, decides to take it in. Here we go with Miles. It ends with a layup. What a possession. And a timeout, Mike White.
How about the ball movement, an 11-0 run for the Sooners. And the ball movement was based on a lot of guys pounding that rock, but they finally found a way to get a guy going downhill. Fears flirted with his 6th turnover in the game, but kept that ball alive. And Oklahoma, all of a sudden, with a little bit of an edge, the shot fakes were so good for Oklahoma. 2 or 3 of them in one possession, and it's finished off by Miles. And Oklahoma
feeling it right now.
Feeling it right now.
They really are.
You read my eyes.
I did. I'm good at that. It was very one-sided. Now it's just a +5 for the Bulldogs. What do you anticipate the last 4 1/4?
It's going to be a slugfest. I mean, there's just not a lot of separation in this game. Jeremiah Fears has continued to not turn that ball over. He's flirted with it a couple of times in the second half. A live ball turnover now for either team, Ravi, is just brutal.
Turnovers 11-11. Where will the points come from? Newell, Kane with Demery on the bench. Yeah, Lawrence got bumped out of bounds, and it's going to be called on Woogie.
You guys, it was an inspiring message in Oklahoma's huddle just now. Coaches telling the players this game and your season will come down to rebounding and defense down this stretch. Coaches telling players your tournament tickets are waiting for you if you win this game. Porter Moser reminded them we're in double bonus, so don't foul, just get 2 hands up, don't make contact, force them to take a contested shot, but do not foul.
Yeah, Newell launches a 3, Molly. Thank you. Another terrific report from Molly, listening in on those huddles. And Newell with Demery on the bench, unable to knock down the 3 ball.
To Molly's report, though, Oklahoma closed out and did not jump at Newell.
Oh, huge 3 for Moore, Jimmy.
The Oklahoma defensively right now is in a no-jump situation. Close out, but don't leave the floor and risk a foul. They're in a no-jump defense from this point forward. At least they should be.
The team that's more desperate for the win is Oklahoma, as they're going to get Fears running Kane over. Do you feel, regardless of the outcome, though, have the Sooners put themselves in a position already?
The way they played so far, absolutely. But, man, when you tell your guys your season's on the line and you come out and play it off, watch this closeout right there. Stick those feet, don't jump, don't risk fouling. Exactly what Porter Moser had told his guys, and 15 seconds later, it comes true. It's time for the shooter to make up his mind.
TBD, I like that. We're at 72-64 with Molly McGrath and Jimmy Dykes, Carl Ravitch, a 14-0 run. Porter Moser joked about the jet, Jimmy, and getting a ticket. He certainly wasn't joking when he told his team it's all on the line here in the last few minutes. Kane, wild shot from the corner out of a break. Not a high percentage effort, down by 8.
I think Porter Moser will stay with a lot of ball screens to close this game out. He's got 3 handlers on the floor at all times with those 3 guards.
Miles shakes off the one from Moore with a little ghost screen. He goes in and has it blocked out of bounds.
5 on the shot clock for Oklahoma to operate with.
Fears is all the way back at the half-court line. Instead, they get it to Moore, who hands it off. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Elvis. Oh, wow, he goes underhand, soft off the window. And the lead is 10. Newell got his man up in the air, and he avoided contact, although he came down and is flexing that right knee of his, kind of limping up the floor.
What Georgia needs, back-to-back stops right now. You got to sit down in a stance, defend without fouling, and stay in front of the ball. Those 3 guards are getting downhill.
Those are the first points for the Bulldogs in the last 5:50. Elvis feeling it right now. Fears has 5. He and Kane step back, created space, and threw up one that hit the back iron. Good chance for Georgia to slice into this thing. Newell kicks James. Kane, no. Drives up, and he will shoot 2 free throws, and he banged his face there. He may have got hit, but he went up. And he will be helped up by his teammates. Coming up next, you just heard it, Jimmy. The SEC Now crew, a whole breakdown of the game with highlights. Shooter will break down this game, analysis, interviews with the coaches and players all season long. The crew from SEC Now during the day, Peter Burns and company. Here at night, Dare Noka, and of course our games tomorrow, 1 and 3. And then we'll be back here at night at 7 and 9:30. Dan Shulman with Jay Billis.
Another part of Oklahoma's push, Ravi, only the 17th foul on Oklahoma. So it took this entire second half for Georgia to finally get to the bonus. And I go back in the first meeting, Georgia, 37 free throw attempts in that game when they knocked off Oklahoma in the first matchup between them. And Oklahoma only got there 9 times. So Oklahoma much better defending without fouling tonight.
Yeah, only 10 free throws attempted from Georgia in this game. This will be the 11th. The question is, does Georgia, who knows they're in the tournament, which is a great feeling. Have a push in the last minute 54.
The press is going to come right now by Georgia, and it's going to be a hot press. A trap looking for a turnover. Trying to push the gas pedal right now and ignite a flame.
Oklahoma 11 turnovers. Fears got fouled by Lawrence. And he'll parade down the other end of the court, where Jeremiah Fears is 4 of 4 from the stripe.
And he's an 84% free throw shooter in conference play.
Hey guys, take a look at Porter Moser's shoes. They're custom made and signed by Toby Keith. Moser decided that honoring the late country singer was appropriate in Music City. He said he's hoping they bring good luck, and if they win tonight, we could see him wearing these shoes all week. He's already wearing the suit and tie that has a winning record.
What a great tribute by Porter Moser. I know those guys were buddies.
Pierce missed the free throw.
A loyal, longtime supporter of Oklahoma, written on those shoes.
Not sure what Pat Adams is telling Mike White. They just fouled somebody out of that game, Jimmy?
I'm confused like you.
Lawrence came out of the game. He's only got 2 fouls, so that wasn't the issue. Free throw goes down as they are 6 of 12 from the stripe this half.
I like Oklahoma extending their pressure a little bit, just making Georgia work. Nothing clean.
He set up the play for Kane. Great closeout by Elvis. Kane all the way, and no, left it on the rim. Newell was there, and he got fouled as he came down with it. They're going to call the foul on Jalen Moore.
We have a very small team now Porter Moser has on the floor. Ball handlers trying to close the game out with free throw shooters. Jalen Moore at 6'7", the only guy with some size. So offensive rebounds with 1:38 to go. A big part of this game still for Oklahoma. Lisa Newell has been a beast on the boards tonight, right?
Yeah, 14 rebounds, a career high. He's got 7 points this second half, but he has not been able to deliver here as of late, and a foul there. Kane on Fears. Not what Mike White wanted, even though the clock stops. Sends Fears, as you said, an 80% free throw shooter to the line. This one's starting to get away from Georgia. Neither team has really capitalized, each missing 6 freebies. Kentucky tomorrow night will get the winner of this game. Mississippi State and Missouri, our first game at night. And a lot of fans here in Nashville believe this one is now over as several are heading for the exits. 13 points for Fears this half. Jimmy, this will be for his 27th point. He doesn't get it. He's got 26.
Well, Oklahoma still has work to do, but Porter Moser told his guys a couple of timeouts ago, you are playing for your NCAA tournament berth tonight. And they're 135 away from closing this thing out and it being a done deal. And 13 teams minimum will be in that the NCAA tournament if this continues.
Demery back in. He's been absent with those fouls. And Miles, Porter Moser did not want to see that. Miles got his hand in there, and Demery will go to the free throw line.
Yeah, I mean, you've stopped the clock. You've given Georgia a chance to cut it to a 2-possession game. And Georgia a chance to apply their press if Demery converts.
3 of 3 from the stripe. Silas Demery, 22 points in the game. Too strong. Newell the rebound. Right back up, and he's got a chance for 3.
I just thought Porter might insert some size because of that right there. I mentioned it earlier. playing with a very undersized team, trying to close the game out with ball handlers and free throw makers, but you just got punked on that offensive rebound. Just not enough length, not enough physicality to push Newell out, and the length just takes over right there. And life still completely in Georgia Bulldogs gray jerseys.
Jalen Moore picks up his 5th foul. We get a break here. Free throw coming for the Dogs. Trying to complete a 3-point play. Jalen Moore is fouled out of the game. They do bring Wuggy in, who is right now just barking into the ear of Dylan James. I'm not sure exactly what they're talking about. May have said, I'm about to box you out. You cannot get this rebound. There is no rebound to get. Newell completes that play. And a 5-point game with $1:20 to go.
And a diamond press by Georgia. It's a 1-2-1-1. Oklahoma's got to be aggressive with it. Very well done.
Jeremiah Fears, 26 points with the ball. 7 on the shot clock, looking for a high screen. Now goes to work. Throws it up, no good. Offensive rebound, Wuggy, and that may be the difference. Porter Moser quickly grabs a timeout. The offensive rebound by Wuggy may be enough to seal this deal for the Sooners, who will inbounds the ball, leading by 5 with 46.4 to play.
Fouled and putting him on the free throw line, but now you have to get it in after you call that timeout, and that's not always easy. Oklahoma with 2 timeouts left. If the count gets to 1,004, call it and regroup.
Elvis will try to throw it in. He does so.
Oh,
Kane, boy, and Moser wanted a foul, and he didn't get it.
So that did not work out. Oklahoma had the ball live, and they take a timeout. Porter Moser saying, my guy got grabbed, but the call doesn't go in his favor. And now they got to sit down and guard themselves with 45 seconds to go.
That's a tough one. You made the great call, Jimmy. The difficulty of getting that ball inbounds. Does Mike White want to talk it over with his team? I think he does.
The call on the floor is White's basketball. The play is under further review.
I guess they're going to look to make sure that ball was out of bounds against Oklahoma.
Under 2 minutes, you can check it. It's just not an easy angle right there. You can't back up far as a passer because of that.
Yeah, that's definitely off the
that left arm right of Godine.
I think it was off of Godine's left arm, yeah. Yeah, it's hard to tell there.
Yeah.
It seemed to be the arm with the tattoo on it, though. Right there.
Yeah.
And Godine's the one with the tattoo on the arm.
The call on the floor is confirmed.
Yep.
The clock will be reset to 45.7.
Like a game of Clue, Jimmy. The man with the tattoo on the out-of-bounds line.
Man, the gut punch losses that Oklahoma has had this year. And they certainly can't risk another one. Last possession losses to LSU, Ole Miss, Kentucky, Texas. Felt like they had this game under control about 30 seconds ago, but couldn't get a missed free throw, and this game has been extended, and now another turnover.
Scorers for Georgia right now is just anxiety time, down by 5. Demery and certainly Newell and Kane. This is Demery. He's trapped on the baseline. They get it to Kane, and that is going to be a backcourt. And there it is. Boy, he wasted a lot of seconds there and not picking the basketball up.
No doubt. Maybe like 7 or 8 seconds. Maybe just rolled off right there. Oklahoma is so small and quick defensively, just swarmed the ball. And Oklahoma swarms up basketball right here, and this pass out, and it's backcourt right there. 1,001, 2, 3, a good 4 or 5 seconds. Blue Kane let slip off. Those could be crucial.
Sooners will get the ball underneath the basket. And one more time, Elvis is going to do the inbounds. Last time he did that, it didn't work very well, and Georgia got the turnover.
Yeah, he's a small guy with Newell with a 7'6" wingspan. That is not easy to throw over or under.
And he will call the timeout, so they're having a hard time getting the basketball in. You know, it feels like, Jimmy, in the NCAA tournament and close games, inbounding the basketball is going to be a thing.
No, he just came out to teach.
Yeah.
This is not an easy lineup to get it in. You got 5, basically 6'1" or 6'2" guards on the floor, and a lot of length defensively for Georgia. This is not a given at all for Oklahoma to inbounds this ball.
They set up a couple of screens, and they get it to Fears. And he burns some seconds, and there's the foul. Well, they set up a play, and Fierce was wide open.
Well, Porter Moser goes to Fears, and Fears is going to start on this block right here, I believe, and act like a screener, and then just pop off of it. Really good action, smart action with an undersized team. You got to get some movement and some misdirection. Porter Moser draw it up perfectly and executed just as well.
That's Jeremiah Fears' first SEC tournament game going.
Was he at 28 now?
27.
Well, I'm counting the next free throw already.
I like how you get one step ahead. I love it. Near midnight, and Jimmy Dykes is on.
More importantly, Oklahoma is going to be on Jimmy's jet solidly if they close this thing out. I think they were there anyways, but they are 27 seconds away from.
Yeah, what happened in the 28th? Didn't happen.
No.
2-point possession game, 77-71.
Well, no threes at all. Just stay above that three-point line and do not foul. Like, do not foul.
Poor Porter Moser is like looking around wondering, what are we doing? Stops the clock, shorter team. Wuggy's back in on a missed free throw, but he's got 2 of them. Emery knocks down the first to continue a huge night for him. His 23rd, but he's been so silent because of the foul troubles. His first points in the last 15. 50.
And now Wuggy on the floor to keep Newell off the offensive rebound if there's a miss right here. Learned their lesson a couple of possessions ago at that line. And Wuggy's going to check out, and Porter comes back with his 5 guards.
Dayton Forsythe into the game. And they will have all 4 on the baseline.
And run the football play.
Yep.
Watch this. They're all going to be like wide receivers and run different routes. And somebody's going to break off the route and come back to the ball.
It's Fierce who has it. And he will get fouled, and it looked like Lawrence may have gotten hit in the noggin.
You guys, one thing to keep in mind, Mo Agee for Oklahoma is having the game of his life, and he is fasting for Ramadan. So he's not allowed to eat during daylight hours. So when the sun went down while we were playing this game, he was crushing applesauces and food. But during daylight hours, he's not allowed to have any food or even any water. And so he's been pushing through that to have one of the best games of his career here tonight.
No doubt. Good call, Molly. 12 points, 9 rebounds. He has been a difference maker in this second half.
There's Fear's 28th point. 5-point lead, 16.9 on the clock. And I know what's going through the mind of Porter Moser right now. As you mentioned, the last couple of years, man, they've been so close.
This is a game that started on Wednesday and might end on Thursday. And we're that close on the East Coast.
6-point game. Kane will drive all the way to the basket and miss it. Newell's there for the follow-up, and Mike White's not quitting yet. 4-point game, 7.5 to go. This may bring you to the finish line of midnight in the East.
On that backcourt violation, had that ball been picked up immediately, you'd have 11 seconds to go in the game.
Good point.
That's a big deal. It was also been a big deal. Jeremiah, no fears. I fell in love with this kid in Atlanta. You could just see that he's going to get better and better as the year's gone on. He's tightened down his handle. I don't believe he had a turnover in the second half. No, he had 5 at halftime and did not turn it over in the second half. But he has shot the ball. He's made plays. He's been good dribbling off the pressure. Moser, you tell your inbounds trigger guy in your head, if it gets to 1,003, just call timeout. Don't mess around with it. We'll regroup. And the football play is going to be ran again. All the wide receivers are to the left of the ball for Fears to find. Here's your wide receivers right here, and we'll let them make their breaks.
Well, they throw it to the out-of-bounds man, Miles, and now he looks and he finds Forsythe, and he will get fouled by Kane. And now we're down to 6.1.
Really good job by Porter Moser to change it up just a little bit, step a wide receiver out of bounds. That's a legal play to throw it to.
And get it to the guy that's a 90% free throw shooter.
No doubt. Kid missed 3 all year in SEC play. Forsythe.
And you can see how smooth that stroke is. It's now 5 points. Forsythe picks up his 4th point. And we are staring down the barrel of a Kentucky-Oklahoma showdown tomorrow evening. It's like a layup for him. Demery's 3, no good. That will do it. The Sooners with a win, all but assure themselves of a spot in the NCAA tournament. 81-75 behind 29 from Jeremiah Fears.
I don't think there's any doubt. You can see by the celebration and by that Oklahoma bench, they knew, and Porter Moser called him out with that 8-minute mark to go in this game. You want to be in the NCAA tournament, you finish off this game, and that's exactly what they did. And just massive matchups tomorrow on Thursday in the SEC.